Together here, Linda O'Boyle is standing by live with Joe Milazzo with a wonderful check presentation.
It's time for our first sponsor check presentation, and with me is Joe Milazzo from the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Northeastern Pennsylvania.
Thank you, Linda. There's so much excitement here today. This is great. I understand we have a small check, Missy?
Small check, yes, but we are pretty confident with giving it to you and hoping that it will help make at least one child's wish come true today.
This is fabulous. $2,000. Interlocos. I have a real special closeness with the people from Interlocos, Missy and Bob. I remember about a year ago when we sat down to put the first promotion together, the Give Us Your Change promotion with Interlocos Supermarkets, which was a huge success, raising close to $10,000. In addition to that, you've been a great avid supporter. Whenever we need help, we call Missy and Bob and say, come on, we need some volunteers, we need some help. You're always there. We really appreciate it. We're thrilled. $2,000, folks. We're absolutely delighted.
I'd just like to say on behalf of Interlocos, we are truly committed to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and we look forward to working with you into the future.
Thank you very much. $2,000, folks.
Let's get a look at the board. We're going to have to spread you guys out.
Yeah, because we have a big, another big one to tell you about here, right?
That's right.
Who's going to change the numbers
Somebody's got
here?
a $1,000
This is the one, Joe. Let's
pledge.
move over that way toward Jim. A few minutes ago, I said we had a very special pledge down on the phone bank on the lower left, and we didn't read it on the air then. We wanted to make sure everything was up to snuff, and indeed it is.
Certainly is.
You explain the rest.
Well, this is a pledge of $1,000, and this is an example of the type of momentum that we're picking up. We're like a locomotive charging, I got to tell you, Eddie.
Who's the engineer of that locomotive?
The engineer of this locomotive is Sandy and Marlene Interlocco.
All right,
Interlocco family.
big round of applause.
Please, please.
$1,000. Thank you very much.
We're going to change the
I
numbers
can't tell you,
here.
and I want to tell personally that we really appreciate their contribution. And once again, to all the people in northeastern and central Pennsylvania, thank you so much. And let's keep that locomotive rolling.
Yes, indeed. You have some quick thank yous also. Some other people who have contributed to this telethon.
Well, there's been a lot of people behind the scenes, and I had to take my list here because I certainly can't remember everybody. Just to mention a few, and we certainly don't want to forget anybody. But Bill and Janet Jones, they've been our volunteer coordinators for the day. They have done a fabulous job. You've seen the change of it's been phenomenal. We have Sam Aramo up at the Wishapalooza site. Sam was our Wishapalooza chairperson, along with Joe Delfino up at Rascals. We want to urge everybody to get up there tonight. I know we'll be breaking over to see what's happening up there soon. A real exciting site. We've got some great bands coming on up there tonight. The Mob and Tribe still to come. In addition to that, we have Phyllis O'Boyle and Lori Cadden Foley, our two site chair people at the Montage Manor site. They've done a terrific job, and this is the beautiful part about the magic of Make-A-Wish. Everybody working together to put the smiles on these children's faces. Well, I think we've just about covered my group. We have a lot more, but
we're going to have more. I have a feeling, guys, after this is all over, we're going to have some big group hug with everybody.
Oh, you missed it, Andy. I've already seen a couple up here. It's happened already.
1-800-480-WISH.
Is this for anybody ugly, this check presentation, or is this the teacher who won the contest, by the way, has since moved to Wisconsin, and I can't say. All right, you guys got something else for us? I see a sizable check. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, well, just like Joe said, two ugly people presenting this, but part of our Wishbone campaign this year, Price Chopper, with its O'Neill Highway store and the East End store, got involved and raised $960. Price Chopper was very excited about this promotion, and they've promised us next year that all our stores will be involved. But I'm going to ask Joe Milazzo now to just explain briefly what the Wishbone promotion was all about. Joey?
Thank you, Bill. Bill and I just scrambled around the studio here trying to find a sample of the Wishbones, and unfortunately, we weren't able to find any. Nevertheless, I'm sure you're familiar with them. We've had them in a lot of locations, supermarkets, convenience stores, restaurants. You've come out in force. You've made this promotion a success. This will be a promotion that we have every year in support of the telethon. What we ask you to do is buy a Wishbone for $1. That Wishbone is prominently displayed in the establishment, and it tells the general public that you were part of making wishes come true. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts on behalf of the children for helping us today. I'll tell you, we've got a lot of check presentations today. We must have a lot of support out there, Billy.
Yes, we do, Joe. And we'd like now to have Ronnie May and his family come over. He made it. Yes, he finally made it to the telethon. Hi, Ron.
We have two gentlemen with us who started off the telethon with us, haven't been out here actually much in a bit, so I'll reintroduce them to you. Bill O'Boyle, who is the chairman of this year's telethon, and Joe Milazzo, who is the president of the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Northeastern Pennsylvania. Now, guys, I said enough. You talk. You got some money here. Let's hear about
Thanks,
it.
Vince. We have a couple more checks. Ricardo's our corporate sponsor for this hour, as you know. Also, the employees got together and sold wishbones in the store to their customers, and they sold $600 from Ricardo's. Another.
Hey, all right.
Yep. Now, let me, this is on top of what they have done before.
For the corporate
in case you just came in here and joined us, they gave us a check for how much? Was it $4,000? $4,000, like within the last half hour. There are people who are here on the phones. These guys don't stop, do they?
Absolutely.
That's nice.
We also have a special request from Guido Mancini, who owns and operates the Valet Garment dry cleaning business up in Plains. Valet? Yes. Okay. And thanks, Joe. He's always here for me. But he happens to clean my shirts and Joe's, and he said he would donate $100 if Heckle and Jekyll would get on and say thank you. So, Guido, thank you very much to everybody up at Valet. Thank you.
Hey,
and
for
Joe
$100.
Joe has some information,
I have to
too.
tell you, I was sitting in on the sidelines out here, and Art Dobby, the Vice President General Manager of WBRE, came up and said, Joe, what exactly are you drinking there? I have to admit, it does look a lot like
Yes,
a
it does.
brewski.
It does look like
this
one of
actually
those.
is Lion Brewery root beer. This was donated to us by the folks at Verastro Beer Distributors. We have a lot of people that have come out and helped feed and nourish our volunteers, because God knows we need a lot of nourishment today. Just to highlight a few, of course, we had Verastro. Doherty's Curry Donut Shop had donated some wonderful donuts. Vince, I saw you had a couple pecans hanging around there
Still
this
in
morning.
here? I'll get them out of there.
Absolutely.
Move
Old
along.
River Road Bakery, who now has a location in the Sunshine Market, it's a new Sunshine Market, has been a donor here today. Basically, Bagel supplied us with some wonderful bagels today, and CK Coffee, keeping us alive and running here today. Again, thank you very much. You folks are outstanding. Let's get those phones ringing. We need to raise some serious money. 42 wishes we're looking for today.
Yes, we're you know what? We're going to do it. I'm confident we'll pull it off.
Absolutely.
We'll do this. But a lot of people help in a lot of different ways, like, Joe and Bill were mentioning, from a corporate standpoint, from donating, whatever. What we need you to donate is the money, okay? Very simple. There are some phone numbers on your screen. You call. The lovely folks here from Ricardo's Market would be more than happy to take the information, make the phones ring, give us the money, make everybody smile, because that's what it's all about, guys.
Absolutely.
Back to you.
All right, and I have to say, looking at you three sartorially splendid individuals, I see Mo, Larry, and Shemp over there. Shemp Sweeney. His favorite character in all of television is Shemp Sweeney. Any man who wants to name a baby giraffe Shemp is suspect. No, actually, he's a wonderful guy, and he's working very hard for us today. We have some wonderful pledges to read here for you.
And I have a very handsome gentleman to my left, Joe Milazzo, with another check presentation. Joe, how you doing? It's nice to be back.
Good, Jim. You're too kind. Handsome, you think?
Very handsome.
Well, thank you.
What do we have here?
Jim, what we have is the corporate sponsorship check for this hour. Allied Services, John Hines Rehabilitative Medicine, John Hines Institute for Rehabilitative Medicine has been a longtime supporter of Make-A-Wish. They've been outstanding. I really don't think no exists in their vocabulary. With us here today, we have Edie DeProfrio, as well as Kasia. And, Kasia, I'm going to try, but maybe I won't. Maybe we'll let Edie introduce you, because Kasia's actually with us. She's visiting from Warsaw in Poland, and she wanted to be part of the telethon this year. And we're glad to have her here. We welcome you. It's great to see you here.
11 counties the Make-A-Wish Foundation serves, but there are people watching this program from outside those 11 counties. What can they do to participate?
Well, Jim, you're right. There's over 80 chapters in through the United States. In fact, we've gone international. If you're vacationing in northeastern and central Pennsylvania, possibly in the Pocono Mountains, you want to make a pledge. What we do is we take those dollars, we funnel it back to the respective chapter in your territory. So your pledge here will actually go and help to make wishes come true, magic for children in your area.
So you do not have to be from here to make your dollars count?
Absolutely not. And it's very tangible, because you will see those wishes come true. You'll see the smiles on the children's faces, and you got to feel good inside about making that magic happen.
All right, where to now? We're going to go see what Keith Dawn and Joe Milazzo are doing. Guys.
All right. Thanks very much, Vin.
Point of order. This is a point of order, a procedural question.
That's right. We've been talking all day about Make-A-Wish of northeastern and central Pennsylvania, which covers 11 counties. Well, we cover more than 11 counties, WBRE TV, and if you live in one of those outlying counties like Schuylkill County and you're calling in with your pledge, you're probably wondering, well, where does my money go to? Because I want it to go to a Make-A-Wish child in Schuylkill County, and Joe Milazzo is here to tell us where your money will go.
Absolutely. You know, we have WBRE is extending out to 22 counties, and of course we're covering 11 through our chapter. As we mentioned before, if you're in a county that does not belong to the Make-A-Wish chapter of northeastern Pennsylvania, your money will go directly to your respective chapter. Now, we've had calls. We have people, folks vacationing in the Pocono Mountains. They've called up. They may be from New Jersey. They may be from New York. It doesn't matter. We will then turn that money over. So the reality of this is, although that we show on the tote board that we've raised enough money for 34 wishes, we're not sure exactly how much of that money is actually ours. Now, everybody out there knows our goal today is to grant 42 wishes because we have 42 outstanding wishes. If we exceed the 42 wishes, that's wonderful, because you know what, folks? We know that we're going to grant more than 42 wishes next year. So what we need you to do is kindly, please pick up the phone. Don't sit back. Don't wait, because if you wait, you may not be able to get your pledge in. Become part of this magic. It's a wonderful feeling to get involved. You've met our wish children here today. They're wonderful kids. You are part of making that magic come true. Get on the phone. $2, $5, $10, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to reference that little girl this morning that took $3 out of her piggy bank. If this little girl could take $3, or Jim Miller's kids who brought in 400 pennies. I mean, this is beautiful. I mean, it brings tears to your eyes. If these kids could do this, you have to pick up the phone and you have to come out and you have to help make wishes come true.
And the point is, no matter where you live in our viewing area, your money will go to help a Make-A-Wish child where you live.
That's the commitment of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the entire Make-A-Wish organization, which is extremely important to the integrity of what we're doing here today. And let me say this from a procedural standpoint, Joe. What that means is you have 42 in this chapter alone.
Absolutely.
So what we need to do is beat 42 to make sure that there is no child who is going to be at the end of the line and say, well, we'll have to wait until a little bit later.
And what happens today, too, Keith, and Joe, you mentioned we get a lot of inquiries about Make-A-Wish. People who have sick children and think, wow, this could make our life so much better and brighter. So that 42, by the end of the day, may be...
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's what we're here for. We want the folks out there to know that the Make-A-Wish Foundation is here. We want to serve our children. We want to make these wishes come true. So if you know somebody or if you have a referral, give us a call. If you don't call us here today, call our office tomorrow or on Monday or whenever you feel like it, because that's why we're here.
Same 800 number, right?
Same 800 number. It's 1-800-480-WISH. That's 1-800-480-9474.
All right, terrific. And I think Vinny's over there with Jesse Hardy, and it looks like a check presentation.
Well, not exactly. They tell me this is something a little different. The thing is, I don't know what different it is, and I don't know exactly what it is, but...
Standing underneath the banner here at WBRE TV in Wilkes-Barre, I'm Keith Martin. We have, gentlemen, if you'd step in this corner, we have Bill O'Boyle, the chairman of the telethon this year. We have Joe Milazzo, who is the chairman of the board of Make-A-Wish Foundation, and a very important guest in this corner, Tom Foley, representing the Foley Law Firm. So what we're going to do first is do the business at hand, then we're going to talk about what this business will allow Make-A-Wish to do for the children of northeastern Pennsylvania. Tom, if you would like to officiate with the presentation on behalf of the Foley Law Firm.
Yes, Bill and Joe, on behalf of the members of the Foley Law Firm, I'd like to present you with this check for $8,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Northeastern Pennsylvania. We're happy to be able to help you in our own small way with the wonderful work you guys do. As you know, I'm very familiar with the work you do through my wife, Maureen, who's a board member also. And we're just, again, very pleased to be able to help.
Well, Tom, on behalf of the foundation, on behalf of the telethon, we want to thank you for this check, which represents sponsorship of the final hour of the telethon. We're sorry you and Lori will not be able to attend the telethon this year. You have other plans. You'll be out of town. But thank you from the bottom of our hearts. This will make a lot of children happy this year. Thank you.
Joe,
Thank you, sir.
As the chairman of the board of the foundation, what will you do with that?
Well, Keith, this is going to help to put a lot of smiles on a lot of children's faces. Tom Foley, the Foley Law Firm, this is their second year coming to bat for us at the telethon. They're not only good friends of Make-A-Wish, but personal friends, good, sincere people, people that want to see a difference in the lives of so many special children. And again, as Bill said, Tom, We thank you.
Tom, let me just ask you, this obviously is a labor of love. It reflects a tremendous commitment, corporate citizenship on the part of the Foley Law Firm. Why?
As I mentioned before, my wife Laurie has been involved heavily with Make-A-Wish. She is a board member. I've learned about the wonderful things that they have done. I've personally talked to her and seen what the organization has done for many children and their families. And
did you have any difficulty in talking to other members of the firm saying, ladies and gentlemen, we want to get behind this? Was this one of those unanimous votes?
It was one of those unanimous votes. Everybody at our firm knows about the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and everybody was more than willing to help.
And it looks like, I can see by the smile, I'm very proud to do so.
Yes.
Tom, I want to thank you on behalf of all of us here at WBRE TV. I want to turn to Bill and say, one heck of a fine job mustering the huge effort that's been reflected in what we've been able to do here today at the telethon.
Well, thank you, Keith. And that's as a result of people like Tom and the Foley Law Firm. People in this area have been outstanding in supporting the foundation. As you may or may not know, all the money that we raise here in northeastern Pennsylvania stays here to take care of our children. We do not have to pay a national organization. So all the money that people donate, they bring in our foundation, and we use it to put smiles on the kids of our wish children.
Thank you very much, Bill. We'd better wrap it up here because I know Joe wants to get to the bank because he's already chomping at the bit to put smiles on those faces.
Absolutely. Again, Tom, thank you very much, and have a great time this weekend.
I think you will.
Thank you.
All right, you've seen it right here, $8,000 donated by the Foley Law Firm, and we're very proud to accept that, and we're going to put that money to work through the Make-A-Wish Foundation starting right now. And right now we are in the home stretch.
And that is exactly what we need to happen.
Absolutely, dear. We've seen a lot of groups, organizations, corporations, businesses, small business come forward and say, you know, we'd really like to get involved with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. What can we do to raise money? And you know, there's a variety of fundraising events that have taken place, from backyard barbecues to bake sales to companies, restaurants, retail outlets selling our wishbones. It's great to see the enthusiasm out there. It's great to see the support. And I've said it a million times, the folks of northeastern and central Pennsylvania have hearts of gold. You don't say no. You come out in force, and you make our job a lot easier. You are part of making wishes come true, and that's very important. And we want you to feel that. We want you to feel that special magic.
Okay, do you have a special pledge card you're holding there?
Actually, I do. As the folks out there know, this hour is being sponsored by Vogue and Associates. Mike Folk's children had called a little bit ago, and they each pledged $20 apiece. So we have $100 pledged from the Vogue family children. A big round of applause for the kids.
All right, well, thank you very much, children. That's kids helping kids. One more time. That's it. Let's hear it for them. Thank you very much.
Joe Milazzo, Joe, we were talking about Nicole Einhorn. This is really what it's all about.
It really is, Andy. Nicole, Nikki has been a very close friend of ours. You know, we were standing waiting to go on air. I said to Nikki, I said, you know, Nikki, I'm a little jealous. She came here with her boyfriend today, and she said, Joe, she said, I'll always belong to Make-A-Wish. And I thought that was one of the nicest things. Thank you, honey.
All right. And
she's an incredible girl. One of the neat things about Make-A-Wish is, even after the wish, we have truly become a family. We like to spend time with the kids, especially kids like Nicole that have become near and dear to us. It truly is the family, and we're just happy. I, for one, feel very fortunate to be part of this organization. Right now, what I'd like to do is ask the folks out there to take a look at Nikki and just understand what this is all about. It's very tangible. It's something that you can see. It's very visible. We need to start getting those phones ringing. You know, this morning Keith Martin said it's not in the can, and I think you could probably coin that phrase. It isn't. You know, we look at the Franklin First tote board, and we see some large numbers up there. Of course, our goal today is 42. We'd like to grant 42 wishes. Folks, if you're sitting at home, don't sit back. Pick up the phone, make a phone call, make your pledge. It doesn't matter if it's $1. It doesn't matter if it's $5, $10. Whatever you have, you can become part of making wishes come true for wonderful children like Nikki. Thank you, Nikki.
Joe, thank you very much. And again, the number to call is very simply 1-800-480-WISH. Let's go over now to some more very special people with our own Jim Miller. Jim?
Thank you very much, Andy, and we are now...
You are right. This is certainly the last hour. We know it is our biggest hour, and I'm going to go out on the limb here. I know that we're going to raise enough to grant 30 wishes. In fact, I know that we're going to surpass the 30 wish mark by far, and in an effort to do so, we've got a very special check presentation from our sponsor for the last hour. I have Rick Mebane, Executive Vice President for Franklin First. Rick is presenting us a very large check. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's one of the largest checks of the day. Rick, we're going to thank you. Rick has a check here for us. Franklin First has been an avid supporter of Make-A-Wish for as long as I've been involved, and I think since the conception of the chapter, they've supported just about every event that we have. They're wonderful. Our hat goes off to them. We thank them from the bottom of our hearts. Rick?
Well, great. Thank you very much. We are very pleased to be a sponsor of the final hour of the Make-A-Wish Foundation Telethon. Make-A-Wish is everywhere today. Earlier today, I happened to be at the station up in Lackawanna County with my son. I walked into the mall, the Steamtown Mall. Make-A-Wish was there. We bought some cookies. It's been a wonderful day, a lot of excitement going on, and we are very proud to have all of these red shirts out in front of us here.
It's a good-looking group.
I think it is a good-looking group.
Wonderful-looking
Great bankers, too, as a matter of fact. All of our Franklin First volunteers, there they go. We're going to make a real success of the final hour. We promise everyone that. But on behalf of the trustees, the officers, and the employees of Franklin First, we're really pleased to make a donation to the Make-A-Wish Foundation in the amount of $6,000.
All right, $6,000, folks. We are on our way.
Yes, let's hear it for Franklin. Rick, thank you. And as you know now, if you look at our tote board, in about 23 hours now from yesterday, we've managed to take the 30 wishes that are pending for our foundation and reduce that to 6. We have 1 hour left. Franklin has gotten us off to a great start here in our last hour. We only have 6 more wishes to grant to reach our goal. Let's get those phones ringing and let's get this money here and let's go past the goal so we can grant wishes for anybody out there who needs one. Thanks a lot, Rick. Thanks again.
Let's do it. Thank you.
And what a terrific way to kick off this first.
And this year we are joined once again by a man who is very hard at work at the telethon each year. He is Joe Milazzo, the Make-A-Wish Telethon chairman. We welcome Joe this morning. Joe, looking dapper as always, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Joe is chairman of the board of the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Northeastern Pennsylvania. And Joe, always a pleasure to work with you and your staff.
It's always a pleasure as well.
Year in, year out. And mainly,
WBRE there, buddy. Wonderful to us. So.
What would you want to tell people? I know it's Sunday morning, maybe people are wiping the sleep out of their eyes, maybe they came in late last night or are ready to start their day. What's this telethon all about at its core? What is this telethon and this event all about?
Well, this is our most significant fundraiser that we have throughout the year. Last year, we had a goal of granting 52 wishes from the money that we raised from the telethon. This year, our goal is 55. Throughout the year, we'll usually end up granting about 70 to 80 wishes, so that if we can accomplish today at least being able to grant 55 of those wishes, we think of that as a huge accomplishment. And it is very exciting.
When you hear the stories of the kids, and we've all have spoken to some of the Make-A-Wish families and their children, the wishes are unbelievable. Just a thumbnail sketch of some of what we're going to hear today. What kind of things do kids want?
Well, a child's imagination is kind of neat. Basically what we ask the boy or girl to do is close their eyes and think about something that they'd like more than anything else in their life. And we get some very unique wishes. We've bought a little girl a pony, computer wishes, swimming pools, trips to various parts of the country. One of the special favorites, of course, and I think about 70 to 75% of our wishes are actually trips to Disney World. Kids just love to go to Disney World. They love to spend time with Mickey and Minnie. In fact, I'm sure you know, we were out there at Disney about a month ago. I went out with Don, and we had a chance to go with one of our families and really experience the true essence of what it is to be in Disney World on a wish. And I can tell you, we'll see a tape of that later on. It's very, very exciting. It's probably a smile on the child's face from the time he gets there or the time she gets there until they leave.
And what's really neat, too, is we like the family to take part in it because we feel that it should be a family-oriented experience. So the family really enjoys it as well.
Joe, we know that this couldn't be done without the hard work behind the scenes by people such as yourself, but also we count so much on the public. Again, how can the public help today?
Well, the public could simply call and make a pledge. I know last year a lot of people had come to me afterwards and they said, you know, I was going to make a phone call in the morning. I wanted to pledge, but I thought I'd wait till later in the day. And some horror stories, either they weren't able to get through at the end of the day because we get so busy, or their plans were extended a little bit longer. So I encourage you to please pick up the phone now. Dial our number. It's 1-800-344-9474.
Let's do this. I don't know if we had any phone calls yet, but we're going to go to the phone. There must be at least, how many phones do we have here? At least a dozen or so phones.
I think we have about 24.
There have to be 24 people out there watching right now who care enough about the children of our area, children they may never meet, but know that their dollars will help put a smile on their face and maybe release some of the tension that family might be going through for whatever their situation is. Dial that number, 1-800-344-9474 or 963-9474. The first caller who comes in, we will read your name on the air as we will throughout the day today, because it's that important for us to thank you personally at that moment or as soon as we can. Call in. Let's have the first inaugural phone call. Someone watching in northeastern central Pennsylvania, call in your pledge in whatever amount and we'll read your name on the air because we want to thank you. That's how important your phone calls are. And the average wish, Joe, is around, what, $3,600?
The average cost of a wish is about $3,600. And I think it's real important that everybody in northeastern and central Pennsylvania understands that the money that you give to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of northeastern Pennsylvania stays right here.
Stays right here.
It doesn't go anywhere else. So when you make a pledge, when you make a donation, you become part of making those dreams come true. You're actually a wish granter. You really, and it's a very visible thing. It really is. And I think it's neat. You're going to see a lot of our children today. You're going to get a feel of that type of experience that they receive when they have their wish granted. You'll meet them. You'll meet their families. It's really neat. It really is.
Let's go over to the phone now. We have several phones ringing.
We thank Epics, and Bill O'Boyle's here with me, and he also has some other thank yous from some other great supporters.
Okay, thanks, Joe. I'm here to thank some of the people who've been really supportive of the growing Make-A-Wish family. Our friends down at Nabisco, Convention Hall in Pittston, Polar Bear Refrigeration, 360 Communications, Tuxedo Junction, Mike down there, Metallos and Dunmore, Jim Gregory, Dom Castrian, our friend in Harvey's Lake at U.S. Tuxedo, Ronnie May Service Stations, and three of my good friends out there watching today, Kenny and Matt in Wilkes-Barre, and Christopher. And now we're going back to Marla.
All right, thank you very much, and I'm here with Mark Hiller.
With our checks, trying to make those wishes come true, meteorologist Dr. Steve Furtick has an update.
All right, actually, Mark, we are here with Tom Greco, the owner of Martini's Restaurant. A couple of months ago, there was a party there, a Seinfeld finale party. You might remember it, maybe you were there, and they raised some money, and here is the result for the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yeah, it's absolutely. As Kramer overlooks Martini Restaurante with his Cuban cigars, we had a great finale party. It was tied together with Magic 93 and naturally WBRE TV. And it's our pleasure to get involved, and we'll continue to get involved. We have some items left over from the Seinfeld staff, the cast clothing, and we're going to do another event this year where we're going to auction off some of the items.
Fantastic. We are looking at more money coming in. The phones have to ring more, though. We want you to call, please, before you head out. Make the phones ring. It doesn't matter if it's $450 or $5. Everything helps. So please, give us a call. We're going to go to Marla now. Marla.
All right, thanks, Steve.
Pledge, please do. Pick up the phone and call. That's what's important.
That's right. And I believe we're going to go back to Andy Mahalchik now, who's talking to some very important people.
Okay, Dr. Steve and Don Seastead, two of our foremost meteorologists. Thanks for the good weather today. And we have some very special people, starting with Joe Milazzo, the chairman of the foundation, Make-A-Wish Foundation in northeastern Pennsylvania. Joe, the Snell family is here, a Make-A-Wish family. A very special story you have to tell us here today.
Yes, I do, Andy. Once again,
a wonderful family that I've grown very, very close to, and a wonderful little boy. I think I met him when he was 2 years old, and I've had the distinct pleasure of becoming part of that magic of helping to make a wish come true. Cody's original wish was to go to Disney World, and unfortunately his health didn't permit it at that time, and he realized at that point that really what his main wish was to get a computer, and he's been having a wonderful time. Mom tells me that he's actually learned how to turn on the computer and turn it off, and he's got a lot of different games that he likes to play. One of his favorite games, and I know that he likes power equipment, big power equipment. One of his favorite games or software games is actually the Tonka game. Cody actually reduced me to tears last year when he presented me a card that he had made on the computer. Great family, somebody that I feel very, very fortunate to have known. Kind of a neat thing today, as I mentioned to you, Cody's 4 years old now, and today is actually Cody's 4th birthday. So as a special treat, we've gone out and we'd like to actually celebrate Cody's birthday party here today. So if we can have everybody join in, we'd like to sing Cody happy birthday.
Who wants to start?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Cody. Happy birthday to you. All right. Very good. Well, Cody, thank you for coming here today to celebrate your birthday with us. We've actually picked you up a little present, actually a couple presents. I know Cody likes presents. I remember the first time we stopped at the house. And Kim is Cody's mom. Could you tell us a little bit about how much Cody's enjoying the computer?
Oh, he wakes up in the morning and that's the first thing that he wants to do is open his computer.
And it always puts a smile on his face.
Yeah, his favorite is
Wow, Cody, how about that?
Oh, his favorite. And this is his other favorite.
I know.
Oh, thank you. Don't you have donations? Yeah, I do.
And we also got Cody a special Make-A-Wish teddy bear. Cody never comes empty-handed, guys. He always has something very special to bring to me. And unfortunately, he usually reduces me to tears. I have to open this up.
When we talk about, you'll hear special stories for the next 7 or 8 hours of this telethon about families like the Snell family, and each one has their own special story to tell. But one thing we found out from all the families we've been dealing with, they give back.
Absolutely, they give back 200%, more than we could ever give them. And I hope that when you're sitting in your living room watching your TV, take a look at Cody, take a look at the pleasure and the magic that we brought into his life. And without your support, we can't make those things happen. So, pick up the phone, make your phone call. I know it's a gorgeous day outside. Some of you may have plans. Some of you may say, listen, I really enjoyed the telethon. I'd like to sit and watch it. By all means, join us throughout, because we've got a lot of special stories, just like Cody's to tell you. If you do want to venture out, come on down to the Steamtown Mall. They've got a wonderful food court here. Come and join the magic and the celebration here with us.
Very quickly, Cody's card, what does it say
Yes,
there? Turn it around. What does it say on front?
The front of the card says, "Thank you for making dreams come true." And it says, "There are people who say they care, and then there are people." See, it happens. There are people who show they care, and you happen to be one of those people, Make-A-Wish. To the entire Make-A-Wish team, you've taken the time for me and made me feel important and cared for. I don't quite know how to thank you, but I want you to know how much your kindness means to me. Thank you once again for making a dream come true. Love always, your friend, Cody Snell. Thank you, Cody.
Thanks, Cody.
Happy birthday.
Let's go back over now to Mark Hiller. Mark?
Cody, we wish you many, many more happy birthdays.
Continuing on with the telethon, I throw it back upstairs to my buddy, Sid Michael. Sid?
Thank you very much, Jim. With me right now, a very familiar face to those of you who are familiar with Make-A-Wish, have been watching our Make-A-Wish telethon over the past few years, Joe Milazzo. First of all, Joe, one question I want to ask you personally. You have a very successful business. Why do you do this? I mean, you give so much of your time to Make-A-Wish.
Well, Sid, I think it's a love and a passion for children. Years ago, in my business dealings, I had met an associate in Albany, New York, and he was very involved with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and I said, what a wonderful organization. I'd really like to get involved sometime. And just through the course of the years, I had been in the company of somebody here locally that was involved with Make-A-Wish, mentioned to them that I really had a passion for the organization. I don't think it was but 10 minutes later that I had a call from, at that time, John Jablowski, who was our executive director. and I've been involved for about 5 or 6 years, and I love every minute of it. Sometimes I think it's somewhat selfish because it's a very self-rewarding experience. I love to see the smiles on the children's faces, to take what they consider a dream or a concept, something that doesn't seem like could ever become a reality, and then to make that happen and to see the smiles on their face and on their families' faces is something that money certainly could never buy, and it's just something that really means a lot to me.
Now with us also this time Michael Vo. Joe, why don't you tell us a little bit about Michael?
Well, I can tell you, Mike too is in business. Mike has a very successful law practice. He's based out of Pittston. Mike and I have known each other for many years. A couple years ago, we were looking to find somebody that could help us with our development activities, somebody that had a strong awareness in the community, somebody that knew people, and we also needed somebody that had a little bit of legal expertise. So I give Mike a call and I asked him if he would consider coming on board, and he accepted, and we were thrilled to have him. Mike has a very busy schedule as well. He's, in addition to being assistant DA, he's also now the new solicitor for the Greater Pittston Chamber of Commerce, but he takes time out of his life, and I can tell you a lot of time, valuable time, quality time, and he gives of his time to the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
And I'm sure you're busy with, among other things, these people alongside you.
My wife and my 4 children, we're very busy. I'm very blessed. I'm blessed to have a good practice, a great family, healthy children, and this is my way of giving back to the community. I'm thrilled to do it and be part of it.
Now let's give everybody a chance to say their names.
Michael.
And your name?
That's Nicholas.
Nicholas. And your name?
Matthew.
Matthew.
And Jessica.
And Jessica. And your name?
Cindy.
Well, very wonderful family, very nice family, and I see it looks like we had a little accident over here. If we could see, what happened?
I fell out of the tree.
Out of a tree? Did you break it?
Yeah.
Can't go swimming now, can you? Well, you'll be in good shape in no time. You'll be ready to go again. Michael, it's just amazing the response too that I'm sure you get when you tell people you're involved with Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, it's a great response. It's a well-respected organization. It's a great cause. And the children that we help are the children that really need the help, and to give them something to brighten up their lives and to make them think about something else besides their illness or the problems that they're having, and the families also. What's nice about Make-A-Wish is we take the family, if they go on a trip or they get a gift, the family also partakes in the gift and the trip. And I think it takes their mind away from the problems that they're having. Even the small problem, my son breaking his arm this week, as I sat in the emergency room thinking about, was he okay, how was he doing, I thought back to the families at Make-A-Wish that have much more serious problems than he had, and I thought, boy, this is a tough situation to be in. And I thought myself, it's better for myself what I do for Make-A-Wish. It felt good, and it feels good to be here and give this money to Make-A-Wish. And I'm chairman of development, so it looks good for me if we raise more money. So at this point, please call and please give to Make-A-Wish.
And let's talk about this, a check in the amount of $4,500.
It's actually fantastic. In addition to giving his time, Michael, for the 3rd year in a row, has become a sponsor, an hourly sponsor for the telethon, and he is presenting a check. And Mike, I want to thank you personally on behalf of our children and our families for helping to make wishes come true. Mike's presenting us a check today for $4,500.
Michael, thank you very much. Joe, thank you so much. And again, that's what this is all about, just helping people helping people, as I mentioned just a little bit earlier. Kathy, Dawn, let's go over to you two.
Thanks a lot. Weren't those kids beautiful?
Oh,
Adorable
what a nice family. I like the little guy, though. He was not talking.
Not talking.
It's always that way.
The guy who fell out of the tree, too, with a broken arm. Now he can't swim. I'm telling you, this entire effort today is about children.
The weather is not helping us. Joe Milazzo from Make-A-Wish. Let's be frank with the people. We need more help. We need to pick up the pace.
Well, Jim, we have built up a little bit of momentum, but I have to tell you, I'm very concerned. We are receiving pledges, and I certainly don't want to minimize the fact that a lot of good people have come out and they've made their pledges. The problem is that as far as the phone pledges themselves, we're really far behind, and at this point in time, we're getting towards, we keep on moving hour by hour towards the end of the telethon. My fear is that we are not going to be able to meet our goal, and that's certainly not something that we want to see. The worst thing that we can do is we've never had to tell no to any one of our children. I know the folks out there have had an opportunity to see the magic, the special smiles, all of those special wishes. You've seen our children in person. You've seen a lot of the footage, the stories that we've done. we don't ever want to have to be able to tell a child that we can't grant his or her wish. That would be devastating to us. And I have to tell you, as far as the telethon is concerned, it's a year-long planning process, and while you recognize that the weather hasn't cooperated all that much, it's a beautiful day outside, and I'm sure people want to enjoy it. But I know there are people sitting in their living rooms. I know they're sitting in their kitchens. People are kind of wrapping up the daily festivities and hopefully coming back into the house. I really need to make a heartwarming plea to please come through. Give us a call. It doesn't have to be a $100 pledge. It doesn't have to be a $50 pledge. It's the $5 and the $10 pledges that add up that really make this whole telethon a success.
We wouldn't dare to kid folks that we can actually, when I say we, someone like myself or others, what it feels like to be a family who desperately wants to see their youngster have a dream come true. You've seen more than just the stories. You've been there to tell families. You've been on trips with families. What does that feel like? Because you really see the love that comes out of something like this.
Jim, what I see is something that has improved the quality of life for the child and their family. It's something that, you know, these children have very adult problems. I mean, every day of their lives, they're dealing with treatments and trips to the hospitals and trips to the doctor's office, and they don't have a heck of a lot to look forward to. But I can tell you this, I have never, in all of my years involved, I have never met a child that didn't have that one very, very special wish. And as I mentioned before, to this date, in all the years that I've been involved, and since 1989 when Dan Conrad started this local organization, we've never had to tell any of those children no. And to be quite frank, again, and I don't want to repeat myself or sound redundant, but I'm concerned that if we don't build up that momentum, that we're going to have to tell some children no. And that would be devastating to us as an organization, and certainly devastating to the children.
Numbers 1-800-344-9474, 963-9474. We're not going to tell any, and I mean any kid whatsoever, the two-letter word no. I mean, no kid will not, because of you ladies and gentlemen at home, will never tell any kid no. I mean, we're going to get 55 wishes granted today. If we have to go out to your house and go room by room and find the buck that's laying in the jewelry box, go through your closets. How many times have we gone through closets and found $6 in a winter coat?
Let me tell you what, Jim, I have two little boys over here that I would love to have come over here and join us right now. This is the kind of thing that I think is really special.
I'll work the phones while we get the kids over here. Again, the numbers. This is quite a story.
This really is. I'm probably standing here with two of the best, well-behaved children in northeastern Pennsylvania, or at least I think they've come pretty close. They actually drove up here, up to the Steamtown Mall, and they're very excited, I have to tell you. All year, they receive what they refer to as good behavior or good deed money, which, you know, obviously the amount that they've given us, they must be quite good. They came up with this bucket, and this was a culmination of what they raised throughout the whole year. And Jim, I have to tell you, it's $53 worth of change that these two young gentlemen, Timmy and Mike Fox, have raised throughout the year for being good boys. I think that's incredible. I think that is a message that should go out to everybody in northeastern and central Pennsylvania. If two boys could save $53 and take all of that money and feel so good about donating it to Make-A-Wish, I think that's just incredible.
Kids, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. What's your name?
Timmy.
Timmy, we thank you. And your name?
Maggie Fox.
Jim, they have something real special they want to tell everybody.
Go ahead. Look in that camera. Look right there.
Please make wishes come true.
Wow. You want to say it?
Please make wishes come true.
Now, how in the world are we able to go the rest of the way without getting 55 pledges? You know, frankly, we're going to be honest with you. There's a lot of heavy hitters out here in this community financially. I mean, you're sitting there, the money's hanging off the side, hitting the floor. Some of you guys out there, the Michael Jordans of our community, come on, help us out, because if these kids can raise $53, there's a few people out there with some long pockets, some pretty deep pockets, and we have, 33 pledges so far? Come on. Come on. I mean, it means a lot.
Jim, once again, I'm going to mention, and I think it's very important that everybody out there understands, when you donate to our cause here in northeastern and central Pennsylvania, you become part of that wish granting process. Timmy and Mike are part of that wish granting process now. The money that we raise stays here. It doesn't go to a national organization. It stays right here in northeastern and central Pennsylvania, and you become part of granting the wishes for a lot of those special children that you saw here today, and we certainly have some more that we're going to introduce you to in a little bit.
Joe, thanks a lot. Kids, thanks a lot. Give me 5. Give me another 5.
All right.
How about that, kids?
Thank you.
Helping kids.
Now we have a little bit of Tyler's artwork here, Joseph, that we are going to give to the highest pledge that we get within the next maybe 50-some minutes or whatever we have left. Speaking of handsome young men, who might we have here, Joe Milazzo?
Well, this is Dylan. This is Tyler's little brother, and Dylan was able to experience the wish because we think it's very important that the entire family becomes part of that experience, and he tells me they had a great time. They're 2 wonderful children, and I know them very well, and I'm just very proud to know each of them.
Okay, I think Dylan's had enough of us. Have you had enough of us? Who would you rather look at, Dylan? Your mom and your brother, or me and Joe? I don't think there's any contest, Joseph. Let's talk about the artwork. Can we have a look at this, because we're going to give it away to the highest pledge we get while we're still on the air here.
Okay, Joe, who else do we have here? I know we have some thanks, acknowledgments, some donations.
Yes, Kathy, very good friends of mine, Joe and Rosemary DeSanto. They have 3 Subway locations, one in Pittston, one in West Pittston, and one in Kingston. They got involved with the Wishbone promotion this year, and they raised $300 for us. They've always been a great supporter. They've helped us out with refreshments and food for the volunteers during the telethon. Thank you, Joe and Ro. We appreciate it.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, we also have some thank yous, and these are very important because without the support of the restaurants and fine companies that have helped refresh us today.
Absolutely. We've been taking advantage of them.
Absolutely. I want to thank again TGI Fridays. Obviously, they've done an outstanding job. They've supplied food all day. Salerno's Pizza gave us a lot of pizza. Dante's then supplied rigatoni and meatballs. I'm disappointed I didn't get a chance to have it.
I didn't get any of that either. I'm disappointed in that too.
Sabatini's Pizza sent a lot of pizzas. Again, Pizza Hut, don't forget the roundup coming up very soon. Just more pizza, more pizza, more pizza. Kentucky Fried Chicken sent us 50 dinners today. Green Ridge Pizza sent us 10 trays of pizza. Thank you, Green Ridge Pizza. Carmela's Restaurant sent us ziti and red sauce. They said that was outstanding. National Bakery, I think, gave us 25 dozen hard rolls today. So we had a lot of hard rolls, Kathy. Okay. Primo Philly cheesesteaks, 10 large sandwiches. Grotto Pizza here in the mall gave us pizza and sandwiches. And Goodfellas sent up quite a bit of pizza. Thank you so much. In addition to that, we'd like to thank some of the formal wear places. We have U.S. Tuxedo, Dominic Castrogano. Dominic, thank you. We have Tuxedo Junction. Mike, thank you very much. And we also have... we have one more tuxedo place, but Joe's running short on memory, and I apologize, but I'll come back and I'll thank them later.
Well, we're well fed and look fabulous today. What can I say? And we have, it looks like, some more presentations.
Those are the kind of pledges we need in this last hour, Joe.
Yes, Don, you're right. I'll tell you, we're in that last stretch. It's a half hour now. We probably need upwards of $10,000 to meet our goal, and I can tell you that in previous years, I know that we've raised upwards of $20,000 in a half hour. Folks, you got to pick up the phone. You got to call. You got to help us make those wishes come true. Like I said, and I don't want to sound redundant, but we don't want to have to tell any of our children no. You've met a lot of our beautiful children. You've seen the smile. You see the way that we've changed their lives. Please don't have us say no. Don't let us reject any child because we simply don't have the funds. It's very, very important. I kind of took off my jacket now.
Uh-oh, we're in the home stretch. The jacket is off, and we're waiting to get these pledges, and it's very important. We only, because you and I know firsthand that it does make a difference, and actually there are studies that show it does help improve their quality of life, and it may just be, Joe, for a day or two, it may be a week, it may be forever. They may get better and live happy, healthy lives, and they take with them Make-A-Wish, and then a lot of those people just give right back to Make-A-Wish.
That's right. You saw Nicole Einhorn, and I don't know if everybody picked it up today. Nicole, of course, presented a check from Windsor Inn, who she basically acted as a liaison from the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Nikki was one of our first Wish children several years ago, but Nikki took $500 of her own money. This poor girl who at this time has really been suffering. Her health has taken a little bit of a turn. But now she's coming back, and you know, I'll tell you, that kind of thing just touches me. And I think it's very difficult for me to imagine that anybody could possibly sit out there, not pick up that phone, and become part of this magic. I mean, it's incredible. And you need to know, the money stays here. It does not go anywhere else. It stays in northeastern and central Pennsylvania. We're granting, hopefully, 70 to 80 wishes this next year. You're part of that process. Wouldn't you like to feel good for a moment? We've built up a lot of momentum. I hear the phones ringing. I'm starting to feel a lot better, but I have to tell you, pick up the phone. If it's that $3,600 pledge, wonderful. If it's a $10 or a $5 pledge, wonderful. Do yourself a favor.
I know, it's a good feeling. It's a really good feeling, and a lot of people can have that good feeling if they just call us 1-800-344-WISH. Kathy?
Dawn, there are just moments left to go here, and what can we do at this point to really make you pick up that phone? Thank you, Jim. We have another tremendous donation from a very wonderful person who's a good friend of our own Donna Crilly, so I'm going to turn it over to Donna.
Thanks very much, Kathy. I am here with Nikki Einhorn, who was the original Make-A-Wish princess several years ago when we had our very first telethon, when we called it Wish-A-Palooza. Nikki, you did something pretty remarkable, didn't it? Tell me about where you were last night.
I was in the hospital, and I told the doctors they had let me go so I could be here for the telethon today.
You told those doctors you weren't even going in the hospital if they couldn't guarantee you that, right?
You're right.
Now, your wish was 4 years ago?
Yes.
Tell everybody what your wish was.
My wish was to meet Janet Jackson.
And?
And it happened in 1994.
What was it like?
For the first time in my life, I was actually speechless. I couldn't actually talk because I was so amazed I actually got to meet her.
And we just got some good news about your condition. You want to tell everybody about the new list you're on?
Yes, 2 weeks ago on Tuesday, I was accepted into the lung transplant program at University of Pennsylvania.
Accepted into the lung transplant program at University of Pennsylvania, and we are so excited to hear your news. And while Nikki has benefited from Make-A-Wish, she in turn has done everything she can to help other children have their wishes fulfilled. What are you here for today, Nikki?
I work at the Windsor Inn, and we raise money every year with the Wishbones. And this year we raised $825.
$825, and we're here with Sam Maramo and Joe Milazzo.
Well, does Sam and Joe know I have a little gift for them for $500 from what I worked?
All right. All right. That's nice. That's nice. Very, very nice job. I don't know what to say. This girl is she's really, really special to us. We met her like 4 or 5 years ago. Joe and I and Donna and also Sid Michaels, we did our very first interview with this little girl here. I shouldn't say little girl, 18 years old. I'm sorry, but what a special treat this is. I'll tell you. I don't know. I'm stumped for words. Joe, you want to say anything?
Well, I guess I'm very fortunate to have been touched and to have met such a wonderful girl. And Nikki, we have a lot of years of history, and I know that with the new development that things are going to really turn out well for you, and we're all very much excited. Folks, Nikki works on behalf of Make-A-Wish time after time after time, and she helps us raise money. And I hope this touches you out there, because I think it's so important to really sit back and take a look and say, wow, you know, here's a child that Make-A-Wish has been able to make her childhood dream come true, and it was a fabulous time. She had a great time with Janet Jackson. Will you please pick up that phone and give us a call now? As I mentioned to you a little while ago, we are building up a little bit more momentum, but I'm a little concerned that we're not going to meet our goal. And the last thing that we would want to see happen is for us not to meet our goal and have to tell somebody like Nikki, either this year or in the next couple of months, that we don't have enough money to grant their wish. That would be devastating to us, and I'm sure it would be devastating to the children out there. So please, don't wait. We only have an hour and a half left. We're a good way away from our goal, but we know that the people of northeastern and central Pennsylvania, I'm sure you're getting out of the pools, out from shopping, whatever you've been doing all day. You're back in your living rooms. Pick up the phone, give us a call. Again, it doesn't have to be the $500 pledge or the $100 pledge, but I have to tell you, they're very nice, so don't hold back on those either. But the $5 pledges or the $10 pledges are the ones that add up. We have 24 operators here, folks, waiting to take your pledges. Please, and I'm asking you, please, in a little while I'm going to start rolling up my sleeves, and please don't let us down. You never have in the past. Please don't do it again. Nikki, thank you so much. You are such a sweetheart.
She is indeed a very special young woman. Nikki, thank you so much for your donation. What has it meant to you to be a Make-A-Wish child, even though you're now 18?
It's been great. I've met many people. They're great people. I've met you and everybody else. And I just want to make sure every other kid has their wish granted, because I know when I got mine done, it was the best day of my life. I just want to make sure they get theirs.
You're awesome. All right, we're going to send it over now to Ms. Dawn Timoney. Dawn?
All right, thanks very much, Donna.
Receiving some money, and that's what makes these wishes come true.
That's right, and when we come over to this side of the set, we have a lot of smiles, because smiles are made possible in this telethon with corporate donations, individual donations, and we want to take some money here from the Pizza Hut people, and they're our sponsors for this hour here in this the first hour of the 6th annual telethon. Bob Kennedy, Joe Milazzo, Bob Kennedy, Director of Operations of Luzerne and Lackawanna County. We have a big check here, not only in size, but in money. But let me first of all talk to Joe. Joe, how did Pizza Hut get involved in this? They're here every year.
Yeah, Pizza Hut came on board with us, and we're really proud to have them with us. Of course, they're our hourly sponsor for the first hour today. Right now, the Pizza Huts throughout northeastern and central Pennsylvania are holding a roundup promotion for us. What that means is they're asking their patrons to round up their check and make a donation to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and so far it's going very well. That promotion will be going on through the end of August. So get out, support Make-A-Wish, enjoy some great pizza, some good food, and support our cause.
Can't go wrong there, Bob. Pizza and kids. Another member of the family jumps on board.
It's outstanding. Annie, I can see we're at just short of $50,000. We've granted 11 wishes so far. The phones are ringing, but they're not ringing as much as we'd like to see them ringing. Folks, we're going to appeal to you all day. We're going to appeal to you now. You've seen the stories. You've seen our children. Become part of the magic. Become part of our organization. It's real. You see our children. Please help us. We're desperate at this point. As I mentioned earlier today, we have about 54 wishes outstanding this year alone. We're projecting about 100 wishes for next year. We really need your support. Help us to put the smiles on those children's faces and to give them something to look forward to, as you've seen so many of our children have had in the past. Please help us.
Can't be said any better than that. Pat and Kim Judge, thank you very much, and all the employees and managers of A&A Auto Parts. Let's go over to Dawn Timoney now. Dawn has another Make-A-Wish story for us. Dawn?
All right, thanks very much. I'm here with Seth Zamalchak of Shikshini and Bill O'Boyle from Make-A-Wish. Seth is a Make-A-Wish child. Your wish was granted 2 years ago. He had a great wish. Tell us a little bit about it.
I went to with Greg Norman and on a golf trip. I wasn't with Greg Norman, sorry. I went down to Jupiter Island, Florida, on a golf trip with Greg Norman, Owen Brown, Mike Schmidt, and that was it down there with my parents, of course. And we stayed in a beautiful hotel down there. You guys put us up down there. It was absolutely amazing. Also, we got to play the course. It was amazing. It was a Greg Norman's personal course.
Wow-wee, that's some wish. And was he a nice guy?
Oh my God, the best. I'm telling you, he was the best.
Now, for those of you who don't know, Seth is a terrific golfer. He has a 4 handicap, which is pretty darn good for all you golfers out there. And so golf is definitely his passion. Bill has played golf with Seth a couple times. I hope you beat him.
I didn't beat him, but we had a good time.
He beat you. He honestly beat you.
Yeah, I have to say that. He beat me.
maybe you're having a bad day, right? You spoke at our Make-A-Wish Crystal Ball. Every year we have a ball in January to help raise money for Make-A-Wish. And you had some pretty impressive words that night. Bill had actually shared some of your speech in the Times Leader, but if you could kind of sum up your message that night, you were talking about time and how important every moment is. What would you want people out there to know, kind of your message from that night?
My message to all the people out there is that you don't know how much time you have, and that you have to take every day and push ahead and always keep your head up and always look up and say that there is a God, and that they never give up, never give up.
Well, you're certainly an inspiration to all of us. I know you haven't been feeling so well in the last several weeks, and you look terrific, and we're glad you're here with us today. If there was a message to the people sitting at home who have a choice to pick up their phone or not pick up their phone, why should they pick up their phone?
I think they should pick up their phone because this is one of the only things that Make-A-Wish is everything. I mean, almost everything goes directly to the wishes, and I think that is definitely what, if you would want to give to any foundation or anything, this is probably the best one. I mean, this gives to kids, and that's really the most important.
And I know it meant a lot to your mom and dad that they could be on your wish with you. It was just a special time for the whole family, and it's memories that they will always have, right? Your mom and dad had this time had the time with you away from all your medicines and your treatment. You can't, that's something that money can't buy, not just the wish. It was a time that you will always cherish, right?
Yes.
Bill, you've been really involved with Make-A-Wish and specifically Seth. I think it's really, your friendship has really touched you in a way too.
Well, Don, as you know, these children, I think, are the greatest role models that anybody could ask for. You learn so much from kids like Seth and Nikki that we talked about earlier, and Chris Robinson. These kids deal with very, very serious problems every single day of their life, and to be around them and to see the way they approach it and how they appreciate everything that they have and the time that they have, it makes you really appreciate what you have all the more. And Seth was kind before. He said he beat me in golf, but that I beat him, but I don't think so. I think he's beaten me pretty good. That's why I think I don't want to play with him that much anymore, but we'll get out again soon.
So give us a call here, 1-877-480-9474. Please, we need your money, 826-1227. Help make dreams come true. Now let's go back to Mark and Celine.
All right, Dawn. Boy, Seth is such an inspiration. He's a fine young man, He had that very special wish to be with the shark, Greg Norman.
I have a donation here from Helen Kroll of Long Island, New York, $20. And it's in her sister, her nieces, and her family are all waiting to hear Joe Milazzo sing. Now, if anybody else out there would like to hear Joe Milazzo sing, or perhaps if you don't want to hear Joe Milazzo sing, call in right now and tell us that. This is a challenge to everyone, one way or the other. I don't care. Whether you want Joe to sing or you don't want him to sing, make these phones ring and let us know. Let's do it. Let's do an Eyewitness News poll right now and see what we should do about this. I think we're going to go over to Dia and the slightly flushed and embarrassed Joe Milazzo right now.
Yes, he's here. He's already chosen his song, as a matter of fact. What song will that be?
Well, Dia, actually, I think it was chosen for me. Is Positive J here?
Yeah. Is he here? Let's see. We're going to liven things up around here, folks. We're going to just change the mood.
I'm going to tell you, 6 years ago when we started this, Positive J was a dynamic radio personality from Hot 97. He's been a wonderful friend of the organization. I think I might rather sing. Stop it.
I love you, man.
What are they going to think? At any rate, I want to be serious here for a second now. Sure. He made a promise to me 6 years ago that no matter where he was, if we had this telethon, he would be here. Last year, Jason left the area. He went to Power 99 in Philadelphia. Sure enough, he showed up here at our doorstep, telethon morning. This year, Jason moved to Detroit, Michigan, to bigger and better things in the world of broadcasting. And again, he showed up with his suitcase here this morning.
Well, at least you're making good on your promise.
Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily wanted here, but I came here anyway.
Now, I guess Jason selected a very special tune that he did 6 years ago when we first conceptualized the telethon.
With Mark.
A very special tune with Mark Hiller. And the challenge, of course, being issued today is for he and I to sing Ebony and Ivory.
All right. Well, I know they raised a lot of money last year. I think people didn't want them to sing, and that is why we raised so much money when you sang.
We want phones ringing, people. If you didn't see it the last time when Mark and I did it, Mark is an absolutely fabulous singer, and he's very, very shy and quiet, but once you get a microphone in front of him, he is unbelievable.
Well, actually, you know what I think? I think maybe Mark could do, I don't know, harmonies?
What do you think, Mark?
I think people want to hear Mark. I think people want to hear Mark Hiller.
Woo! Those that want to hear Mark, big round of applause. Well, Mark, you're in. You're in.
My daughters are on the phone? Well, they're going to have to come through with a pledge.
Did they pledge any money? If they pledge money, then he'll sing.
If they pledge money, okay. So what are we going to do with Jason?
Well, we'll give you guys a couple of minutes to rehearse.
Oh, we've got music and everything.
Oh, you've got...
Oh, already go. And you know what? After that, Dee and I are going to sing Live and La Vida Loca.
Oh, well, I don't know about that.
$100 pledges. $100 pledges. Bring them on in. Come on.
But Jason, I want to know, what was this thing with the kiddie pool and...
The kiddie pool and the Italian ice?
Yeah.
$200 pledges, they'll find out.
Okay.
$200 pledges, and you find out about what, kiddie pool and ice?
A kiddie pool and Italian ice.
Okay.
I guess there's imagination to it.
Well, for those of you that are curious, phone in those $200 pledges. We'll be sure, and it is legal, by the way. Okay. Thank you very much. I'd also like to introduce a very special person. Of course, we are broadcasting live here at the Wyoming Valley Mall for the 5th annual Make-A-Wish Telethon. We'd like to thank all the folks here, and one very special person who makes this come all together is Dominic Farrell. He is the operations manager here at the Wyoming Valley Mall. Joe, I'm going to pass the microphone over to you so you can talk to Dominic and just tell us what it means to make all of this come together.
Well, Dia, as I explained before, this is a cooperative effort from a lot of volunteers, hundreds as a matter of fact. The planning period is about a year long. Of course, this year things have changed a little bit. I know that most of you have taken notice to our new set, which we think is fabulous. We've also moved our location here to the Wyoming Valley Mall. It's worked out wonderfully. The folks here have been absolutely outstanding. Dominic Farrow is the operations manager of the Wyoming Valley Mall. Dominic and I and Bill O'Boyle and Jesse Hardy, I think we've all pretty much been joined at the hip for the last 5 days, working till maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock at night. We've had a lot of hard work. We've had a lot of problems. It's been a cooperative effort from all of our board, a lot of great volunteers, and thank God we're here and we're helping to make wishes come true. Dominic, on behalf of our organization, we want to extend our sincere thanks. You've been a very big part of this effort here today, and we're very happy to be here, and we hope that we can be here with you for many more years to come.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you here, and I hope you are here for many more years. But more important, we need the phones to ring. Without the phones, it's not going to work. We need them to ring now. Thank you.
Well, Dominic, thank you. Dia, I understand that my daughters pledged $500 for me and Positive J to sing, so. Okay, this is from Alyssa and Samantha, my daughters, and my 2 nieces, Adrienne and Santina. So I guess we'll be out in a little bit, but we still need more. We need more. This is $100 pledges.
Okay, well, we still need you folks to call in. We're going to give you a little bit of time, see if we can drum up some more pledges to hear you sing. All right, thanks a lot, Joe.
We have on our stage 2 gentlemen that were, I guess, challenged to sing a song. Is that right? Am I correct about that? Now, many folks in this area remember this gentleman here is Positive J.
How you doing, man?
I'm fine. How are you, man?
I'm doing all right.
Hey, it's good to see you
again.
It's a pleasure. You're in Detroit now, is that correct?
I'm in Detroit right now.
Good deal.
Not right now, but I'm here.
But you are working
at JLB.
And thriving
in Detroit.
In Detroit. Well,
Yes,
good for you.
No plugs.
Doesn't matter. They're in
make a
Detroit, Joe. And alongside him is Joe Milazzo. Now, you guys, maybe you want to explain what you're going to do and why you're going to do it, because I don't know.
Listen, Vince, a challenge is a challenge, and they came through. We raised a lot of money.
We raised a lot of money.
We're going to sing. The
We're gonna
challenge
sing.
started at 9 o'clock this morning. We're going to sing Ebony and Ivory.
We're going to sing Ebony and Ivory.
Now, the whole idea behind this is we were challenged for $100 pledges, and we got many $100 pledges to sing. But our thought is that when we start singing, that we'll probably have many $100 pledges
to
encourage us to stop singing.
Thank you very much.
At any rate, if somebody would get the music, I think we could do this.
I think we're all ready. All we got to do is cue it up.
Come on,
Nice and
Jay.
loud. Are you ready?
I'm ready. You ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. This is big.
But we need music.
A little technical difficulties.
Welcome to live TV. It's track 3. As we waste
Well,
time.
at any rate, while we're waiting, folks, the phones aren't ringing here at all. If you're sitting in your living room, if you're watching television,
oh, that's why.
Let's.
Here we go.
Okay, I guess we're ready to go.
I'm ready. Ebony and ivory
together
in perfect harmony, side by side on my piano keyboard. Oh Lord, why don't we? All right, everybody. Are you ready? We all know that people are the same wherever you go. There is good and
I need
bad.
the words.
Take it, Joe. Sing the song, brother. As we learn to give each other.
As we learn to give each other.
What we need to survive.
What we need to survive.
Together alive.
Together alive.
Ebony and ivory. Together in perfect. You're not singing.
Harmony.
Side by side on my piano keyboard. Oh Lord, why don't?
Now, do you think we're getting a little carried away, honey?
Absolutely not. Pick up the phone right now.
Okay.
Call up.
If anybody would like us to stop
Because
singing,
we need you.
we're
got
looking
more
for
money.
$100
We're
pledges
getting
to
more
make us
money.
stop singing.
Ebony, ivory, living in perfect harmony. Ebony, ivory, living in. You just don't know the song at all.
You know what?
We all know that people are the same wherever you go. There is good and bad.
We're going to end it up now. Okay. Okay, folks. We're going to stop now. Let's pick up the phone. The phone number is toll free 1-877-480-9474 or 826-1227. We're going to cut over to Jim, but let's get everybody singing. Come on.
Ebony and ivory, we're together in perfect harmony. No one said we were professional.
Does this mean you're stopping?
I think we're done.
Outstanding.
I think we just raised $100 million to make it stop.
Do I need an agent now?
You need an agent, all right. You'll probably need a bail bondsman after that. That was guys, outstanding. Outstanding.
Remember, we still have the kiddie pool and Italian ice for $200.
Okay. Does the song go with that?
Maybe.
We hope not. I mean, no.
It's all legal.
Cool J,
all legal.
Thank you so much for making the long haul.
Call it.
Keep it away from me. Keep calling.
Call the number.
I love the cash will stop this. I think that's absolute.
Possible that this could go even a little higher in the next 2 minutes. We might be able to update this.
We might be able to update it, Vince. They're working very hard to get the totals in. The pledges are coming in very, very quickly, and it's hard for us to keep up. I want to thank everybody from northeastern and central Pennsylvania, if we can.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys do all the work. We just come here once a year, so let's bring them on out. Some of the volunteers
of the Make-A-Wish
Let's go.
Telethon.
Come on, let's bring them out. If you missed it, folks, we were after 54 wishes. We have now hit 60 wishes with $240,580, and there is still an outside chance that within the next, 90 seconds.
1.5 minutes.
Well, okay, 90 seconds. We might be able to pick up another one or two here.
Love and, of course, the passion that so many people have grown for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. With me here today is a longtime friend. In fact, John was one of the first people that I met at Make-A-Wish. And make a long story short, about 8 years ago, John showed up at my doorstep at my office and asked if I wanted to become involved in the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And of course, I had expressed an interest, and it's been a wonderful 8 years. And today, John Jablowski is still with us 8 years later. He's moved on from being our executive director at Make-A-Wish. He's moved through the banking industry and now is located with M&T Bank. But it seems like wherever John stops, he brings on a supporter. Of course, M&T has been a long-time supporter, but John keeps that torch going, and we're proud to have him here. And I'm proud to say that John is a friend. You've been a great inspiration for me, John, and I think we have a great check presentation. For those of you who are not aware, and I think you should be at this point, M&T Bank is our tote board sponsor for today. Right now we're sporting a pretty impressive number of 103,000 plus. We know that's growing as we speak. And John, I just want to thank you and the folks at M&T for being a supporter and helping out the organization and helping to make those special wishes come true.
Well, Joe, thanks very much. And your friends at M&T Bank, and in October, our friends at Keystone Financial throughout northeastern and central Pennsylvania, from Lycoming County out in Center County and Schuylkill County here in Luzerne, Lackawanna, Monroe, and the Poconos. We encourage you to pick up the phone and dial and support this fantastic organization that really cares about this community here in northeastern and central Pennsylvania and just does a fantastic job day in and day out. There really isn't anything better in the world that we feel that you can do but put a smile on a child of a face who has faced life's greatest of challenges. And that's why we're here once again, and I think we're the longest running sponsor, and you have our commitment and our pledge. Our staff's going to be here a little bit later to staff the phones, and it's a great organization under great leadership, and we're just delighted once again to be a part of this great team.
Well, John, we're delighted to have you part of our team, and right now I would really encourage a loud, resounding sound of applause, because John is presenting his check today for $6,000. Again, John, M&T, thank you very much. Today we also have John Moses with us. John is with Mozip Sign Company, and many of you probably don't realize what it takes to get ready for a telethon behind the scenes, and there is quite a bit of work, and we decided that we wanted to change our set this year, the backdrop that you're looking at, and John and I got together with several of our volunteers and Jesse about a week and a half ago. We conceptualized this new design, and John and his staff took it to concept and made all of this happen. And I want to personally thank John because he's been dedicated to our organization, dedicated to our cause. And I want to thank you and compliment you on a wonderful job, John. It really does look great.
Thank you, Joe. It's a hard act to follow, all of the people that are involved here. I've never seen so many dedicated people and people with energy that put out their time, and just the small part that we put into this thing, I wish it could be more, but good luck and keep calling in, everyone.
John, thank you. And last but not least, I have my two little girls with us, and I told a little story before. I actually ended up, it wasn't obviously something that I anticipated, but I was in the hospital this past week, and it wasn't anything very serious, but it gave me a chance of a very nobilizing experience, whereas I sat in the hospital wondering, of course, if I was going to be here, thinking back to the days where even Nikki Einhorn, and I spoke to her mom and dad before, Nikki, who passed away a few years ago, and just thinking about how anxious she was and how intent she was on coming to the telethon, and I knew I had to be here, but knowing that what I had wasn't even close to the pain and suffering that many of these children go through. And every day that I wake up, I'm very fortunate that I can look at my two healthy children, and I think that's maybe part of the inspiration that I look at as well, too. Maybe that's why I've become so involved. I'm very fortunate to have Alyssa and Samantha, two very healthy children, and last night, just to continue the story, my little girl, Samantha, was running a fever, and I want you guys to sit down and think about this. Those of you who have children, just the pain that you feel when your child has a very small discomfort, like a fever or a cold coming on, and think about what the children have to do that have more serious and more significant illnesses. I'm thankful, again, that my kids are healthy. I make a plea to you. We're running pretty much on schedule right now. We'd like to get the phones ringing. If you're hesitating, just pick up the phone now. Make those phones ring. Make those wishes come true to spread that joy, hope, and happiness to all 60 of our children that are waiting right now. Thank you.
Are you proud of your dad?
Yes.
Are you proud of your dad?
Yes.
He's a great man. Thank you, Joe, and thanks, kids, and thank you, gentlemen, for coming on, and thank you for the money this afternoon. 1-877-910-8028, 301-9300. Let's go over to Adam Zucker. Adam?
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Joe. Thank you to all our donators.
Winter has made itself a pest, and now people everywhere are doing battle with a sloppy mix of snow, sleet, and ice. But this kind of weather has an upside for a company whose roots were started in this area 70 years ago. You'll recognize the product, Qik Joe, and this is the man behind the name and the product, Joe Milazzo.
We've been shipping on average about 50 to 60 truckloads a day, and probably upwards of anywhere from 50 to 100 smaller loads, be it landscapers that come in, individuals from various companies that are unable to get it from their local supplier.
Employees at Milazzo Industries in Pittston are working tons of overtime due to the demand sparked by recent storms here and the Midwest. Joe Onzik is a regular customer. Onzik owns a landscaping business, and he's been here nearly every day since the new year. He says liability is such an issue, no one can afford to take a chance on slippery and dangerous sidewalks.
Definitely, you have to be. You have to be right on the ball, get the snow right off the parking lots, or someone slips, you're in trouble.
But calcium chloride unquestionably is considered to be one of the safest products on the market, and certainly Qik Joe being one of the safest as well.
Calcium chloride is a natural occurring brine. It's actually mined underground as a liquid, but when it's manufactured, it turns into a solid like this. When it's sprinkled on the ground to melt the ice and snow, it turns back into a liquid form, and that's how it stays.
We've got about 6 different product groupings under the Qik Joe line. All are in demand right now.
And when your business is dependent on weather, you must deliver on demand, and apparently Qik Joe does. The company has grown an average of 15% per year recently. Dia Wallace, 28 Eyewitness News.
Joe Milazzo with the Make-A-Wish Foundation surfs a new website that is the largest clearinghouse for information about how charities and nonprofits use their money. Milazzo says donors should know where their dollars are going. He boasts almost 90% of Make-A-Wish dollars donated here go to granting wishes for children in our region.
It's very tangible. You see where the dollars are going. You see the mission is very simple. I mean, we grant the childhood wishes for medically qualified children who suffer from life-threatening or critical illnesses.
The new website, guidestar.org, is actually being financed by charities themselves, including the Ford, Kellogg, and Mellon Foundations. What the site does is take a complicated tax form known as 990 and breaks it down into easy-to-understand financial information. But the website isn't the only barometer for finding a lean, well-run nonprofit. Peg Mahalik, volunteer coordinator with the local chapter of American Red Cross, says her organization is heavy on volunteers, not overhead, a good sign of a philanthropic best bet.
Programs are run by volunteers, and we depend on them heavily.
Yeah, that's correct.
Your time and money are valuable resources. Mahalik says before you give of either, you should ask plenty of questions.
Well, they should look at the programs, who is served, who funds it.
That new website has information on about 2/3 of the nation's charities. The rest should be available by the end of this year. If you want to be your own charity watchdog, you can log on at guidestar.org. Jim Osman, 28 Eyewitness News.
It certainly creates a lot of challenges for everybody in this industry, and there are a lot of related industries to winter-related products. It's very difficult.
Joe Milazzo is just one voice for the dozens of local businesses hoping for a change in the weather. These bundles of Qik Joe Ice Melt are ready for the snow, but so far they haven't been put to much use. This time last year, road crews kept busy cleaning up a much bigger mess. A series of ice storms made for treacherous driving, but called in big business for salaries that depend on the nasty weather. As for this year, a much different story.
Our stockpiles haven't gone down at all. Typically, we'll stock about 100, 120 ton of salt at a time. This year, we've gone through roughly about 12 to 15 ton of salt. It's been a very mild winter.
Troop crews purchased this $78,000 dump truck 2 years ago.
It's sitting inside, waiting for the snow.
And until it does, the ski industry will also have to manage. But thanks to an early ski-making seasons, area resorts aren't worried.
Our weekends have been wonderful. Skiing's been good. Just rain during the week. The last couple of weeks has been a little deterrent.
So for winter lovers, keep your fingers crossed. There's always tomorrow.
At the end of February and March, I think we're going to get whacked pretty good.
Rose Herman of Old Forge is thinking ahead, stocking up on de-icer before it's really needed.
So that when you are home and you're in the house, you could just get out there and sprinkle it and it'll melt all the snow and ice.
Rose comes here to Milazzo Industries in Pittston to get a product called Qik Joe. Milazzo Industries has been making Qik Joe for over 30 years. Now it has contracts with major highway departments and retailers all across the country.
I think the industry as a whole is anticipating a very demanding season. So our preseason sales this year have been extremely strong. In fact, it's been a record-breaking year for us.
That may be surprising to those who think the weather has been rather mild, but every year Milazzo uses a service that predicts the climate for the upcoming year. Milazzo bases its production on this science called climatology, and predictions so far have been right on. A late start to winter, but brace yourself for the new year.
Everybody's predicting a very demanding season as we move into the middle, towards the end of December, into January and the beginning part of February. We're looking at below normal temperatures and above normal precipitation.
Who wouldn't want to make the wishes of a terminally ill child come true? That was what scam artists were counting on when they sent this letter using the Make-A-Wish Foundation name.
Chain letters pop up on an annual basis very frequently. You never know what the motivation is when they do pop up. In instances like this
latest chain letter was being circulated on the internet asking for Christmas cards, knowing some would send money for a terminally ill young man named Anthony Hebrink from Garland, Texas.
When we checked our records, both in the chapter in Garland, Texas, and on a national basis, we have not found this little boy as being part of Make-A-Wish.
Make-A-Wish officials say those who send a chain letter like this one are looking to add your address to a mailing list that will be sold to other nonprofit agencies, and some are looking to pocket whatever cash you're willing to pass along. How do you protect yourself from being scammed? First of all, know that most reputable nonprofits won't solicit money over the internet or over the phone.
Make-A-Wish never enters into anything like this. Chain letters, we don't support them.
Know the organization you're giving to and know what percentage of your dollar is going to those in need. Whatever you do, steer clear of the unknown. The dollars you give to con artists like the ones circulating this letter are dollars taken away from organizations that really do make wishes come true. In Wilkes-Barre, Denise Strelzik, 28 News.